Hi, my name is Agneta Nilsson, and I'm from Trelleborg in Sweden. And I will tell you a bit about what we have been working with in Trelleborg. We have been working on an intermodal setup from modal shift from road to rail, from Finland to the continental Europe. The idea is to have one product, a one-stop shop, and so the customer don't have to book at 5 different places to get a product from one place to another. And to work in a project like this, we have seen that it is very important that all partners see the full picture of the transport chain and not only their own part. In this project, we have been 5 partners working with this intermodal setup. Green Cargo has been the train operator in the route between Trelleborg and Umeå. We have Vasa Line, that is the ferry operator between Vasa and Umeå. We have Kvarken ports, former Umeå and Vasa ports. We have Sundsvall logistic part, Katrineholm logistic center, and Port of Trelleborg in the south of Sweden. And when several operators with different interests in transport decide to work together in a seamless network like we have trying to do, we have found that this is essential to focus on some special items. It's important to synchronize between the parties to ensure that the whole transport chain keeps together and stays attractive for both parties involved as well as the customers. It is also important to create a timetable because you can't have waiting distances. You need to have the collaboration and to have time schedules that match in the whole transport chain. An early identification of what boundaries that apply to each party, that's also very important. And which liability is affected to respective parties. The creation of communication, you need to have tools between the parties involved. You need to decide them how to communicate between each other. And it's also important to make clear who owns the customer in the current transport relationship. This is especially important if the customer is engaged in a business relation with one or several players in the transport chain. If we go down to the liability, we have discussed and agreed upon solutions. How the complaint handling, for example, should be handled within the parties. You have to decide how to handle the cargo damages, and where liabilities cannot be attributed to one single party in the transport chain. Or you also have to agree on delays. One single party can't be responsible for everything on a journey. And the information is very important. How do you ensure that information on a reservation immediately reach all involved parties? It can't be stopped anywhere. It has to move on to the customer. And how do you connect different operational booking and cargo systems without major investment costs? Do we need to invest in a common platform to make this real? How do we report possible transport obstacles between the partners? And how to handle information action to the customers if any party by some reason is not able to handle the reservation we have communicated in the schedule before. And also we have the pricing, the marketing and the settlement. You have to agree about the prices and also that you can give a price quick. You have to negotiate with the customers and to get fixed volumes. You have to have an acceptance in the group of existing agreements before you start this. And it's also not regarded negative for the collaboration one or more partners wants to invoice the customers separately. You must agree upon solutions with the group how to collective transport liability must be handled in the above-mentioned scenario. We now have a project like this to travel from Trelleborg to Umeå and further to Finland. It has been some hard work, a lot of things to take care of and discuss. We have made some real tests in this transport chain. We still have some work left, not the least regarding the information. Now it's a lot of documentation on papers. It seemed to be much more complex to do this than we expected from the beginning. But we have found that to be successful in a project like this with partners in various business fields and interests, you need to have a common goal. You need to have a joint liability. You need to have a clear and defined product. And when you're having all this, the next step could be extension to the continental Europe. And you will find some more in our recommendations, answers to the questions that will appear in an activity like this. And we in Port of Trelleborg, we have great expectations on a continuation in the common work with the NINA project. Thank you very much.